Okay. So we have discussed about the console statements. Okay, we have discussed about the alerts. We have discussed how we can write something in the document. We have got the elements by using tag names, by using ID, by query selector and selector. Similarly, we use console.warn for our warning and console.error for error purpose. Okay, that's it. Okay. We have also discussed about the operators. Okay, basically we have data types. Okay, primitive data types and reference data types. We have discussed about it. Now in today's class, we are going to actually implement those data types. Okay, for example, if I talk about the number data type or integer data type, okay, which is included in your primitive data type. First of all, let me take a numeric number, for example a number 1 as a 20, 10 or 20 or anything. Again, I can take a number 2 variable in which I can store 20. Okay, now we have two numbers actually. The first variable that I have taken is number 1, in which I have stored the number 10. Okay, I have taken another variable as number 2 and I stored 20 value into it. Now if I want to sum these values, I can console number 1 plus number 2. Okay. Okay, you have seen the 30 is coming over here, which is the result of number 1 plus number 2. Okay, so this is just a simple plus operator. And similarly, I have a string data type. Okay, for example, a string 1. Okay, in which I can give a string over here. For example, I can say this is a string. You can store anything inside this string data type. Okay, or string 1 variable. I can take another variable similarly, in which I can say this is another string. Okay, now if I want to join these two strings together, okay, I cannot use plus operator. I can use that, but I don't want to use plus operator for that purpose. We have a built-in function in JavaScript which is concat. Concat means concatenation. Like if you want to join two strings in JavaScript, you can use concatenation function, which is string 1, in which I have this string dot concat. Concat will join, concatenation will join this string. So string 1 will join with string 2. And when I log this string 3, see, this is a string, this is another string. These two strings are joined together. And if I want to put a space between them, you can use, you can also use simple spaces for that. Okay, like you can use this also. See, it will give a space. So for space purpose, you can use this, or you can also use NSBP, okay, which is used to give a space between two numbers in the HTML, okay, two elements actually. And in the previous lecture, light has gone. आप लोगों का इंटरनेट आ रहा है? Um, okay. आप लोगों का जेप के नाम से इंटरनेट आ रहा होगा, जे अप, ZAYUP। ZAYUP आए। इसका पासवर्ड इंटर करें, कैपिटल ZAY@4 4077। 4007 नहीं है, 4077 है। Ahmed, light has gone, so wait a while. Let me share the internet code with others too so that they can join. Okay. मेरा अपना इंटरनेट भी चला गया है। वेट में सर से पता करती हूँ कि लैपटॉप है।
कैसे हो? ऐसा हूँ, आपको पता नहीं कैसा हूँ। जेट्स का श्री भाई हेलो करते हैं हमारा नींद था जाना आपको गए तो सीधा ऐसे भी निकल आया। क्या समझ रहे? मेरे तो मुझे समझ आ रही है वो कोई समझ नहीं आ रही है। अगर हम से करवाओ ना तो हमें नहीं आएगा यार। कुछ नहीं आएगा। एक दो अलर्ट हुआ नहीं, तो अगर हुआ तो हुआ, हमें तो नहीं। हाँ वो अलर्ट हो ही गया। अलर्ट तो सवाल याद है। अलर्ट लिखना है, अलर्ट लिखना है, प्रेडिक्ट कर रहा है वो बना उसके अंदर मतलब 3 वर्ष में। अरे तो बहुत कोशिश कर रहे हैं। बहुत ज़्यादा बहुत है और सब दिनों से ना मुझे सब सर में दर्द हो रहा था, तो छुट्टी किया छुट्टी की छुट्टी। कौन? अच्छा वो परसों वाला। इस कंप्रेसर से करना है भाई को ओपन दी हाँ क्या है वो फोल्डर ओपन और ये किसका है
ज्वाइन करें सब। जी।
कुछ नहीं कुछ नहीं और इससे फिर उसे में क्लिक करना है या नया कोड
समझ नहीं आ रही आपकी बात की, क्या कह रहे हैं?
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि अभी जो ज्वाइन करने के लिए उसी लिंक पे फिर क्लिक करना पड़ेगा या आप नई वो लिंक भेज देंगे
हम्म, मैं भेज देती हूँ, नहीं।
ठीक है, लिंक भेज
आप लोगों को भी ग्रुप में मैंने भेजा है, कोड ज्वाइन करें। GJATXOP ZZT। ओके, स्क्रीन शो हो रही है आप लोगों को?
जी
Okay. So I've seen that we have two strings, string one, string two, and when we concatenate these strings, okay, you got another string which is string three. Okay. Now we discussed in the previous classes about the operators. So in today's class we will discuss about the basic Operators, we have different kinds of operators, like we have arithmetic operators, then we have assignment operators. Sure. Arithmetic operators, we have assignment operators, we have comparison operators to compare the values, and then we have logical operators. Okay. When we talk about the arithmetic operators, okay, these arithmetic operators are plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Let's say we have a variable a which contains a value like 100. Similarly, we have another variable b. Let's say this variable contains value 10. Then we have another variable, okay, variable c equals to b. Okay, so c also has value 10. Okay, now when I log this value, like for example, if I say the value of the value of a plus c is comma a plus c. Okay, when I save this, the value of a plus c is 110. Okay, now c has a value 10 because I assigned the value of b to this c variable. Okay, so now c also contains a value 10. When I added these values, these basically variables a plus c, okay, so the value actually that the output will get is 110. Okay, because the value of a is 100 and the value of c is 10, so a plus c will be 110. Similarly, when I say the value of a minus b is comma a minus b, so a has a value 100 and b has a value 10, so 100 minus 10 will be 90. So the value of a minus b is 90. Similarly, if I want to multiply these values, I can say the value of a multiplied by b. Okay, in case of multiplication we use steric. Okay, steric is used to multiply two operator. Steric operator is actually used to multiply the things. Okay, a multiplied by b, the value of a is 100 and the value of b is 10. 100 multiplied by 10 equals to 1000, so I actually got the 1000. Similarly, the value of a divided by b is a over b. So a divided by b, like 100 divided by 10 is 10. 10 tens are 100. Okay, so the answer would be 10. These are basically your assignment operators, like you can assign the values. You can actually basically these are, sorry, your arithmetic operators. Okay, we can where you can perform some arithmetic operations like plus, minus, multiply, and divide. In case of assignment operators, we assign the values, okay, and we are also adding, subtracting the values. Like how can we use assignment operators? For example, I can say variable e is equal to a plus is equal to 2. Okay, what does it mean by like a plus is equal to 2 means actually that a is equal to a plus 2. So this a plus equals to 2 actually means that a is equal to a plus 2. Now here the value of a is 100. Okay, 100 plus 2 is 102. Okay, and 102 will be assigned to this a. So now a has a value as 102, and that value would be assigned to this e. So e also has 102. When I log this value, like when I log this e, you will see that 102 is coming over here. Similarly, when I want to subtract the values, like I can see variable f is equal to a minus equals to 5. So what will be the output? Can you tell me? 95. 95. How? Ma'am, because a is equal to 100. Okay. And then subtract the 5. Okay. So, according to your knowledge, you think that 95 will come, okay? Yes. No, but 97 is coming over here. Oh. Okay. Why 97 is coming over here? Let me tell you. I already told you about the assignment operator, that when I assign the values, now the original value of A is, I actually changed the value. I add the value, but I also changed the value of A because I told you that A equals to A plus 2. So the new value of A is 1 was 102, because this A has added the value of 2 to this actually A, and also assign this new value to this a variable. Now actually a has now 102, so it means that it will minus from 102. So 102 minus 5 equals to 97. That's why it returns the 97. Okay, understood? Okay, now we also have let's say another variable g, where you can b multiply by equals to 10. And when I log this g, the value of b was 10. So 10 multiplied by 10 equals to 10 tens are 100. Okay. So now this 100 has already the value of 100 is which is of which one, which variable, b variable or g variable, or both? Both. Okay, that's great. Now b contains 100 because I also assigned this b variable a value as, like when this actually means like b is equal to b multiplied by 10. Okay, so first it will multiply the 10 with this b. B is actually 10, so 10 multiplied by 10 equals to 100. Now this 100 will also assign to this b variable. Now b has also 100 and g has also 100. Okay, so this is how your assignment operators will work. It will work the same as for for divide and for addition. Already well, I performed the addition, subtraction, multiplication. Only division is left, so let me perform that too. A b divided by equals to 4, for example. And what is the basic difference between हमारे पास arithmetic and assignment operator? ठीक है, आप अपना उर्दू में क्वेश्चन पूछे, कोई इशू नहीं है, आराम से जी। मैम बेसिक डिफरेंस क्या है? बेसिक डिफरेंस जो अरिथमेटिक ऑपरेटर में भी हम वैल्यू असाइन कर देते हैं, असाइनमेंट में भी असाइन होता है। देखें, जो अरिथमेटिक ऑपरेटर्स है ना, हम अरिथमेटिक में भी असाइन करें वैल्यूज, हम असाइनमेंट में भी करें, लेकिन जब हम अरिथमेटिक ऑपरेटर्स परफॉर्म करते हैं तो अरिथमेटिक ऑपरेटर्स में सिर्फ वैल्यूज ऐड हो रही हैं, मतलब सब्ट्रैक्ट हो रही है, लेकिन आपका जो ओरिजिनल वेरिएबल है उसमें वैल्यू चेंज नहीं हो रही है। लेकिन असाइनमेंट के केसेस में क्या हो रहा है कि हम मल्टीप्लाई भी, हम अपना पर्पस भी पूरा करें, लाइक हम ऐड सब्ट्रैक्ट वगैरह भी करें, लेकिन साथ ही साथ हम एक्चुअल वेरिएबल का जो स्कोप है उसको भी, वैल्यू को भी चेंज कर रहे हैं उसकी। तो बेसिक ये डिफरेंस है कि परफॉर्म दोनों सेम तरीके से होंगी, लेकिन अगर आपको अगर ओरिजिनल वेरिएबल की वैल्यू भी चेंज करनी है तो विल यूज assignment operators for that purpose. Okay, तो इसका ये जो है वो मेन डिफरेंस है. Okay, when I log this h, 25 is coming. Why? अब यहाँ पर ओरिजिनल वैल्यू क्या थी? The original value of b was 100. So 100 is divided by 4. Okay, and that value is also the now also the value of b has been updated. Okay. So these are basically your arithmetic and assignment operators. Now, if I talk about comparison operators, we can compare the values using comparison operators. For example, I can say like variable x as 35. Similarly, variable y has some values as 42, for example. Okay. Now, if I want to compare these values, like I can say x equals to y. Is the value of x equal to y? No. So it will return what? False. By default, it will return false because the reason is that x is not equal to y. So x equals to y is not true. Okay, it is false. So that's why it returns false. Similarly, if I say like x is greater than or equal to y, is the value of x greater than y? Greater than or equal to y? No. The value of x is small. So it will again return the false. Okay. जी जी लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर में भी तो हम यही पढ़ते हैं तो कंपैरिजन हम क्यों इस्तेमाल करते हैं कंपैरिजन दो दो वेरिएबल्स के दरम्यान में कंपेयर करने के लिए यूज होता है हाँ लॉजिकल भी वही होता है लेकिन लॉजिकल में हमारे पास एंड होता है और ज्यादा यूज होता है मतलब एंड और नॉट के लिए होता है और उसके अंदर थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस होता है नॉट हम स्टार्ट में लगाते हैं ठीक है like x equals to y similarly x is greater than equal to y or x is less than equal to y so in case of x is less than equal to y x is not equal to y but definitely x is less than y so it will return true in this case okay so these are basically your comparison operators we can compare the values using comparison operators and all of these operators were used in conditional statements okay and we will discuss conditional statements today okay so logical operators what are the logical operators logical operators were so first of all we have and operator okay so what and operator will do okay in case of and operator for example I can say true and true okay now both the conditions are true so it will return true see in case of and operator if our both the conditions are true then it will return true otherwise it will return false okay so for example if I have true and false statement it will return true or false it will return false. The reason is that both the conditions are not true. Only one condition is true, the else one is false. So in that case, if I am using this and operator, I must have both the conditions true to return true statement. Okay, and obviously if both the conditions are false, then it will definitely going to return the false. It will only return true and operator will only return true when both or all of the conditions are true okay whether it is two conditions three statements three conditions or four conditions okay if I'm using or and operator then all of those conditions should be must true okay then we have or operator what or will done okay in case of or operator now I have both the true it will return true okay in case of and operator your both conditions must be true, okay, should be true, okay. But in case of or operators, if one of your value is true, it will return true, okay. सो और के केसेस में क्या होता है कि अगर आपके पास एक भी कंडीशन ट्रू है तो आपके पास क्या रिटर्न होगा, ट्रू रिटर्न हो जाएगा, क्योंकि और है, अगर ये नहीं तो वो नहीं तो वो। तो ये चीज होती है कि और के केसेस में अगर एक भी कंडीशन ट्रू हो, if one of your condition is true in case of or statement or operator, then it will return true. For example, if I use true or false, it will return true because one of my condition is true, okay. So it will return false when both the conditions were false. It will only return false in that case, okay, false or false. So not even a single statement is true, so it will return false in that case, okay. So in case of logical operators, we have and operator, we have or operator, then we have not operator. मेरे कीबोर्ड के जो बटन है ना बहुत हार्ड हुए हैं, इसलिए लिखा नहीं जा रहा। मैम इसमें जो आगे ऑपरेटर आते हैं एंड ऑपरेटर एक्सओआर, वो भी इसमें ही होंगे? नहीं, वो इसमें नहीं होते, वो हम इतना यूज नहीं करते जावा में, वो आपके पास बेसिकली डीएलडी में होते हैं, ठीक है। तो नाउ वी हैव नॉट ऑपरेटर, नॉट मींस नॉट ट्रू। इफ आई यूज नॉट ट्रू, it will return false. Not true means false and not false means true, okay. So not means रिवर्स हो जाता है, अगर आपने कहा नहीं तो अगर आपने ट्रू लिखा है तो फॉल्स हो जाएगा, फॉल्स लिखा है तो ट्रू हो जाएगा, ओके। Then we have already discussed about the functions. That function means dry. Dry means do not repeat yourself. If you don't want to repeat the things again and again, you will use function for that purpose, okay. Then we have basically conditional statements, okay. What are conditional statements? Conditional statements are basically if else statements, okay. So if else are your conditional statements. For example, I can say that I have a variable, for example variable a b c, it has some values, for example 34. Now abc has 34. Let me apply some conditions over here. If this abc is greater than 34, for example, which is not true, like abc is not greater than 34. If abc is greater than 34, then this block of code will execute, okay. That number is greater than 30 or whatever, you can write anything over here, okay. It's just a simple statement, okay. Then we have else I can say that number is not greater than 34, for example 30, whatever जो भी आप देना चाहते हैं, डजेंट मैटर, ठीक है। वो आप जाहिर सी बात है जो आप आउटकम्स लेना चाहेंगे आप उसके अकॉर्डिंग यहाँ स्टेटमेंट देंगे। नंबर इज नॉट ग्रेटर देन 34, okay. So what does it mean by like what it will actually work and how it works, okay. In case of if condition, if this condition is true, then this block of code will execute. Else if this condition is not true, it is false, then it will move to the next phase, which is your else statement. And in case of else statement, we do not give condition over here. Like you have seen that in case of if statement, I have given a condition here, okay. yeah, that you can check the condition, this one, okay. But in case of else, we do not give any of the condition. Like if this block of code will execute, like if this condition is true, it will return the statement else means else. Like all of the conditions are if wrong, then it will move to the else statement, okay. So first it will check this condition, like the abc is 34, so it will definitely going to take this 34. 34 is greater than 34, okay. It is not true, like 34 is not greater than 34, so this condition is wrong. Then it will move to the else statement. This is your simple if else statement, which is your conditional statement. Then we have else ladder, okay. जी नहीं, जब आप एल्स दे रहे हो उसका मतलब है ही ये कि आपकी कोई भी कंडीशन ट्रू नहीं है तो आपका एल्स एग्जीक्यूट होगा। जब कुछ भी ठीक नहीं है तो बस एल्स रिटर्न करा दे वो। तो मैं मतलब इसी में हम दूसरी कंडीशन ये भी लगा दें कि जो हमारे पास है एबीसी इक्वल टू 34 है, फिर एल्स में नहीं जाएगा ना? फिर एल्स में नहीं जाएगा, क्योंकि वो आपकी दोनों के वो और के केसेस लग जाते हैं ना, एंड और। तो अगर आपने एंड लगा दिया तो एंड के केसेस में तो ये वाली भी कंडीशन ट्रू होनी चाहिए ना, एबीसी ग्रेटर देन 34। एट द नेक्स्ट वाली है वो भी कंडीशन। लेकिन अगर आपने और लगाया तो अगर एक भी कंडीशन ट्रू है, यानी कि एबीसी ग्रेटर देन 34 गलत है, लेकिन साथ ही आपने कहा कि एबीसी 34 भी है। like you can, for example, if you can give things like this: abc greater than 34 and, okay, abc equal to 34, okay. So you can also take these statements like this, like in a good format. Okay. Now I have given two statements over here. Like ABC is greater than 34 and ABC is equal to 34. So I already told you above that in case of AND operator, we must have both the conditions true to execute this thing. Okay. So for example, if ABC is greater than 34, this one is wrong. But ABC equals to 34 is true. Now in this case, my one statement is true while other ones is not true, so it will not execute this, this block, it will not execute that. What's the reason behind it? The reason is I'm using and operator, so in case of and we must have both these conditions true, okay. So it will definitely going to take the else statement, that number is not greater than 34, okay. But if I'm using or operator over here, like for example, if I'm using or operator, so you will see that in case of or, number is greater than 30. Why it is coming? Because in case of or operator, if I have a single condition true, okay, it will execute the code, okay, inside this if statement, okay, it will execute it. What's the reason behind it? Because I have this condition true, but this one is false. And what if I have given here and operator? And means both the conditions should be true, okay. So now number is not greater than 34 is coming over here. So abc is equal to 34, this condition is already true. If I put not against this, मैम ये आपने दो कंडीशन इसमें डाल दी फिर ये एल्स पे क्यों नहीं आया? क्या मतलब एल्स में दो कंडीशन डाल दी तो? इसमें आपने दो कंडीशन डाल दी है एंड ऑपरेटर को यूज करके, ठीक है। आपने बोला था अगर इफ की ठीक नहीं होती तो वो एल्स में चेक, तो वो एल्स में आया है ना, ये देखें। मैं आपको बताती हूँ, इसको सेव करें जरा। तो यहाँ पर मेरा इफ नहीं चला ना, नंबर इज नॉट ग्रेटर देन 34 है, तो यहाँ पर आ रहा है ना नंबर इज नॉट ग्रेटर देन 34, ठीक है। तो ये आ रहा है। If I put not over here, it means that this statement is not, okay, not this thing. So it means that if I put not over here, so abc is not greater than 34, which is true now, okay. So you can also give things like this, okay. Number is greater than 30, now number is greater than 30 is coming over here. So this is how we use these operators in the conditional statements, okay. Then we have else ladder. In case of else ladder, for example, if I have, like if abc is greater than 34, okay, which is not true, that it will execute this block of code, okay. Else if we have multiple statements, we have multiple else if in case of else ladder. As if, for example, ABC is greater than 35, it will execute this block of code. Then we have another else if, okay, else if ABC is less than 35, uh, it will execute this block of code. Else, if all of these conditions are not true, it will execute this block of code. So for example, over here I can say that in the log I can write hello. Over here I can say yes. Then here I can say yes, print it. And over here I can say that yes to all. मैंने यहाँ पर डिफरेंट स्ट्रिंग्स दे दी हैं, ठीक है, आप कुछ भी दे सकते हैं। मेरा मकसद आपको कंसोल बताना नहीं है, कंडीशंस बताना है, ठीक है। फॉर एग्जांपल, over here in case of else ladder we have different if else conditions, okay. First of all, it will check this condition, like it will start from here, okay. This is the root element where it will start, okay. For example, if this ABC is greater than 34, first it will take the value of ABC. Here the value of ABC is 34, so 34 is greater than 34. It is not true, okay, it is a false condition. So it is not true, it will not execute this block of code, it will move to this else if statement where ABC is greater than 35. Is the value of ABC greater than 35? No, this condition is true because ABC is 34 and 34 is not greater than 35. So it is a false condition, it will not return true. So okay, so it will not execute this block of code, okay. It will move to the next else if condition where we will see that ABC is less than 35. This condition is true because the value of ABC is 34 and 34 is less than 35 is true. It will execute this block of code and it will not move to the next condition which is else, okay. It will break here, it will stop here, okay. So it will only print this yes, print it. So when I execute this program, you will see that yes, print it is coming over here, okay, in the console. What if we have two conditions true, okay. Like for example, I can say I have ABC is equal to 35, 35 mean 34, okay. Mhm. Okay. Now we have two conditions true over here. First of all, it will take this if condition where ABC is greater than 34. This condition is not true, so it will not going to execute this block of code. Okay. It will move to the else if condition. Here ABC is equal to 34. This condition is true. It will going to print this yes, and it will break over here. It will not going to execute the next code. It will simply stop here. It will break the code. Okay. It will simply print yes. So if you have multiple statements true in case of else ladder, it will only execute, or it will only print the code which is on the first block or the first line of code, okay. It will execute that and it will ignore the other statements, okay. So this is how your else ladder will work. If you have any questions regarding it, you can ask me. Oh, do you have? Okay. Then we have an array. For example, we have discussed about arrays in the previous lecture. Okay. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. When I console this array, you will see that an array of length 5 will come. Okay, so the array of length 5 is coming over here, and we have different these, the numbers are on different index number. For example, it's on 0 index, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, the first number of your array will start from 0 index, I told you in the previous lecture. So we have an array over here. We have GG एरे हम लोग यूज करते हैं। एरे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसका बहुत यूजेज है। ठीक है, जब हमारे पास डाटा मल्टीपल और डिफरेंट डाटा टाइप्स का होता है, लाइक डिफरेंट डाटा टाइप्स को भी हम सेम सेम डाटा टाइप्स को भी और डिफरेंट डाटा टाइप्स को भी स्टोर कर सकते हैं इन एन एरे। ओके, सो अगर आप देखेंगे वेरिएबल की बात करें तो सिंगल वेरिएबल के अंदर हम एट ए टाइम एक ही नंबर स्टोर करवा सकते हैं। ठीक है, लेकिन एरे के केसेस के अंदर हम सिंगल एरे के अंदर मल्टीपल एलिमेंट स्टोर करवा सकते हैं। ठीक है, दैट्स वाई वी यूज एरेज। और स्पेशली जब ऐसा होता है कि लेटर ऑन हम देखेंगे ये इंप्लीमेंट करके, जब हमारे पास ऐसा होता है कि फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव डिफरेंट बटन्स। ओके, in case of for example an e-commerce site, let's say you have different products and you have different buttons over here, like you have different add to cart buttons in the e-commerce site। okay, so जब आप ये चाह रहे हैं कि if you want to get all of those buttons add to cart, you will then you have that array and you will apply loop onto it, okay, to get all of those buttons। okay, okay, so this is just an array। okay, and it is going to basically this array is going to return a length of the array and the numbers inside it, okay, all of those numbers। What if I have an condition if, okay, for example if a equals to no, we will discuss first loops over here, then we will going to okay, okay, I'll tell you later on. I was going to tell you the break and the continue statements, but we will discuss break continue statements when we have studied about the loops. So we will discuss loops in the next class, inshallah। okay, so we also discuss the break and continue statements in the next class, inshallah। okay, मैम मेरी फर्स्ट टू क्लासेस जो है ना मिस हो गई थी। जी,